Hello everyone, I am TST's the Mudman here with another deck spotlight video. Today we'll be talking about Amazon Nature. This is a really great, really fun deck. It utilizes Flourish God Power, which has been recently buffed. It used to be 2 mana, now it costs 1 mana. That's half the price, which is super strong. So let's jump into the deck. The first of the nature-themed cards is Chiron. Chiron is really fantastic in combination with Marshwalker. It's like having a third shield bearer. And I'm sure all of you guys know that Marshwalker plus Chiron or shield bearer on turn 1 is incredibly strong. It's almost impossible to remove. The regen makes it great for trading with creatures. Having the extra little 1/1 body is nice for activating Frenzy. Just a super powerful turn 1. Next up, we've got Underbrush Boar, which is one of nature's better cards. 2 mana 3/3 with Confuse. At the end of your turn, Underbrush Boar attacks a random enemy creature. It ignores front lines, it ignores hiddens. Underbrush Boar is just a really great early game tempo tool. Super solid. Next up, we've got Flame Blade. This card is really great for 2 reasons. One, it's fantastic for activating frenzies. Has a lot of durability, so you can go face a couple of times, get those frenzy procs when you need it. It's also really good against tempo magic, which is relatively common now. It's great for destroying shadow scryers, great for getting rid of flying carpets, and if you're in other matchups, just great for early game trading, and we are an early curve aggressive deck, so early trades are very important. Now we've got Canopy Barrage, which is another super solid nature card. It's in pretty much every nature deck for good reason. 2 mana, deal 4 damage to a random enemy creature, destroys almost anything played in the early game. It is super solid. And now we've got one of our frenzy creatures, Finian Fruitbearer. It's a Divine Order card, 2 mana, 2/3. At the end of your turn, if you're frenzied, summon a 1/1 Vibrant Fruit. In case you are unaware, the Vibrant Fruits are 1/1s. With Afterlife, give +1/+1 to your strongest creature. The Vibrant Fruits are really strong. They have beautiful card art. Really great card. Finian Fruitbearer is incredibly good to play on turn 2. Really easy to activate Frenzy with all of your 1-mana creatures, as well as that aforementioned Flame Blade. And even if you get just 1 Vibrant Fruit, 1 fruit is often enough to give you the tempo lead you need to win the game. And now we've got the Steadfast Scout. This is our first Amazon of the Amazon deck. It's a 3 mana 1/3, but not really. If you control at least 2 other creatures, this creature gets +2/+2, which makes it a 3/5. 3 mana 3/5 is obviously bigger than most 3 mana creatures, but since it has that 5 health, it's really great with the Flourish God Power, so you can get it to 4 attack with the God Power, and then the Regen 1 makes it so it can trade over and over and over again. It is a very solid card, and that high health total means it's easy to stick around, which means that it's easy to buff with your handful of Amazon buff cards. Now we have the Agridor Protector. It's also a 3/5. This one has Frontline and Regen 1, also an Amazon. The Regen 1 is really key, because when you incorporate Flourish with it, it gets Regen 2. Lots of common creatures have 2 attack, like Skeleton Heavies and Pyramid Wardens, so the Regen 2 means that Agridor Protector can trade into those creatures and take no damage. It's very, very powerful with the God Power. And that brings us to the Moon Craze Cyclops. This is a 1-card army. Moon Craze Cyclops is really strong. It got buffed fairly recently. It's a 4 mana 3/3 with Confuse. At the end of your turn, this creature gets +1/+1, but if you're frenzied, it gets +2/+2. And like I said before, you got a lot of early game creatures. You've got that Flame Blade, so activating Frenzy is quite easy. So if you activate Frenzy the turn you play it, it's a 4 mana 5/5, which is the same as Overgrown Rhino. Overgrown Rhino sees lots of play. It's a very solid card, and this is Overgrown Rhino that grows +2/+2 every turn. So this card gets out of hand really fast. If your opponent doesn't remove the turn you play it, it becomes harder and harder to remove, and it hits like a truck. It's very powerful. Alright, so now let's talk about Mordo's Daughter. I often call it Morty's Daughter. That'll probably come up in the gameplay footage. This is our first Amazon payoff card. 5 mana 2/2 with Blitz, and its roar effect is a pick one. You can either give this creature +2/+2, making it a 5 mana 4/4 with Blitz, which is super solid. But if you have another Amazon on the board, that's when this card really gets spicy. If you have another Amazon on the board, you can give it +4/+3. So in that scenario, you buff one of your Amazons +4/+3, and you have a 2/2 with Blitz, which is the same as the Vanguard Axwoman. It's really, really powerful. Its floor is a 5 mana 4/4, which is good for with Blitz, which is great for board control, and its ceiling is buffing usually either an Agridor to be a 7/8. Yes, a 7/8, or Steadfast Scout also being a 7/8. It's really, really powerful. Now we got Avatar of Nature. This is just a super solid nature card. 5 mana 5/5. The end of your turn, summon a 1/1 Walking Plant. If you are unaware, Walking Plants have Afterlife. Heal your god for 4. So the healing is often important in those aggro versus aggro matchups. When you're playing against Slayer, sometimes healing for 4 is the difference between winning and losing. And seeing as you summon the 1/1 Walking Plant at the end of your turn, Avatar of Nature is more of a 5 mana 6/6 that grows rather than a 5 mana 5/5. It's just really solid. You can put it in any nature deck and feel good about it. Super solid card. Now we have Arkamonian Onslaught. This is our second Amazon payoff card. 5 mana spell, give each friendly Amazon +3/+2 and Twin Strike. Needless to say, that is very powerful. +3/+2 is a big buff, and Twin Strike is great for not only dealing damage to your opponent's face, but also removing their board. You may have noticed that there are 2 Mordo's Daughters and only 1 Arkamonian Onslaught. The point of that is, like we said before, Mordo's Daughter has a strong floor. If you have no Amazons on the board, it's still a good removal tool and a solid body. Whereas Arkamonian Onslaught, if you have no Amazons on the board, it's useless. It does literally nothing. So, hence the reason why we have 2 Mordo's Daughters and just 1 Arkamonian Onslaught. And this deck list has, I believe, 11 Amazons, which is quite a few. So Arkamonian Onslaught should be able to hit an Amazon every time. But more often than not, you have 1 Agridor Protector or 1 Steadfast Scout. So the Mordo's Daughter buff ends up being bigger than the Arkamonian Onslaught buff. Every once in a while, you'll have like Nimble Pixies or multiple Amazons on the board, and the Arkamonian Onslaught is totally game-breaking, super strong. But for the most part, Mordo's Daughter is a much more safe and reliable Amazon buff card than Arkamonian Onslaught, hence the 1 copy of Arkamonian Onslaught and 2 copies of Mordo's Daughter. So let's jump into the neutral cards. First up, we've got 1 copy of Nimble Pixie. Just a very decent Amazon. It's 1 card that makes 2 Amazon bodies, so it's good for those Amazon synergies. It's also 2 creatures on turn 1, so it's difficult for your opponent to deal with 2 creatures, so that can help you activate Frenzy for your Finian Fruit Bearer. Or if you're in the nature versus nature matchup, having those little 1/1 idiots get in the way of their Canopy Barrage and Underbrush Boars are really great. We've discussed Shield Bearer a bit already, and we've discussed Shield Bearer in a bunch of my other deck breakdown videos. Shield Bearer is super solid. Buffing a Marshwalker is obviously ideal. Buffing an Underbrush Boar is amazing. Buffing a Vanguard Axwoman is amazing. Really buffing anything for 1 mana is really great, and hence Shield Bearer's place in the deck. We've got 1 Vanguard Axwoman. Vanguard Axwoman is really great with the new Flourish God Power. Flourish, for 1 mana, you buff it to 3 attack, so it can get rid of Olympian Guards, or Bright Mages, or Highborn Knights, or Black Jaguars, but it becomes particularly nutty in combination with the Shield Bearer. So for 3 mana, you can play Axwoman, Shield Bearer, and then Flourish, and that makes your Vanguard Axwoman a 4/3 with regen 1, so it can destroy a Skeleton Heavy and still have 2 health. Really fantastic. We got Pyramid Warden. Pyramid Warden's in pretty much every deck in Gods Unchained. It's a 2 mana 2/6. It's got Frontline. It's almost impossible to kill on turn 1. It's super solid. Pyramid Warden deserves a spot in any deck. Now we've got the Amazon Spellcatcher. This is a Divine Order card. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with Blessed and Ward. The Ward makes it difficult to remove. It's an Amazon, so it gets the Amazon synergies. If you are feeling like you'd much rather have 2 Vanguard Axwomans in your deck, feel free to replace one Amazon Spellcatcher with a second Axwoman. It's a fair trade. The Blessed mechanic is very powerful in the early game. Being able to guarantee that you're the first one to choose from the Sanctum is often very good. And, being an Amazon with Ward is fantastic for getting buffed with Mordo's Daughter or with Arkamonian Onslaught. And it's just a fairly solid card, but if you want that second Vanguard Axwoman, Amazon Spellcatcher is probably the card to replace it with. And then our last card is Hunt Warden. This card is not the flashiest of all time, just a 3-mana 3/4 with no text, but it is an Amazon. It has a decent amount of health, which is great for using Flourish with. So, for 1 mana, you get it to be a 4/4 with regen 1, so you can get a couple of value trades. It is an Amazon, so it gets the buffs. The 3 mana cost is important, so you can play it on turn 3 and then pip into a Mordo's Daughter or an Arkamonian Onslaught the turn after for a big buff. It's just a really solid card in general. So now that we've discussed the deck a bit, let's jump into some gameplay footage from my last couple of streams, and I hope you enjoy. Crypto Matrix, nice. Beat him earlier. He already knows about the power of the apple. This is the guy that kept not killing my apple guy. He's learned. He knows he can't do that again. Oh, you know what? Flipping over the apple's smile would be really easy. Steadfast Scout seems hard to pull off. Yes, and so you don't have to be super precise. You can just take a chunk out of it and flip it over, because his body is the same color all around. No, that card's awful in this matchup. Annoying orange and angry apple? That's way too deep a cut. Twitch kids today have no idea about the orange. Alright, let's start by killing this, and then next turn probably go Marshwalker Chiron. I imagine he uses his 2 mana to kill my thing. And then we'll have a nice empty board, and we'll be good. So he can kill this with like Star Shard Bolt, Pip God Power. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. Okay, he chose not to do 1 damage to him, that's fair. Alright, so let's play an Amazon. Then let's God Power this, make this trade. He goes back up to full health. And if there's any creature he kills, it's going to be the Marshwalker. It's way more intimidating. And if that's the case, we'll be able to buff this. Okay, he chooses not to. He's stream sniping. What are you going to do? Sometimes they stream snipe you. There's no reason for him to have done that the way he did. This is a much more terrifying creature. Either way, it's fine. Do we need the Pip anymore? Just get 2 or 1 extra damage in? Pip might matter. What's 1 damage in the grand scheme of things? Oh, to Terra. That's not very good. Here we go, Morty's Daughter. Buff him up. Then we'll kill you. And we'll go face for casual, maybe 10? Yeah, we've held on to this Pip long enough. It's damage time. Take that, Psycho Matrix. Ratify? Man. I was going to Morty's Daughter it again. It was going to be so sweet. Let's plop down a fresh Amazon. Your opponent gains 9 favor and takes 3 damage to his face. I don't think so. I gain 6, increased by 6. I'll take 6. And I'll buff you. I'll hit you in the face. Let's see. Let's take that for now and just hold on to it. I think we'll be able to get to the Rune of Healing before he can get to the Rune of Healing, so we'll just dominate the Sanctum. And this one's damage and healing, so we gotta go for that one. I thought one of the damage would go through. Evidently no, and it mattered. Oh yeah, it mattered. And then we'll buff him for the quick clear. Hit him in the face for 8. Alright, feeling confident. Nice, way to kill the Amazon. Congratulations. So we'll kill him. Buff that, get him to 4. So he can kill my creature. That would get him 14 favor, right? Which means he cannot buy the Rune of Healing under any circumstances unless he has a Blessed card. So, if I play the Marshwalker, he could get the Rune of Healing potentially. So this will just guarantee we win. What's your opinion on Stormspire? Stormspire seems interesting. It's just like a card that's really good against some gods and really bad against others. Like, it's never going to survive against magic, so it just gets ruined. Gets light's levied against light. Against, like, death, it's probably hard to deal with. There we go, GG. You hate pipping into Jag turn 1 and having it get killed? Yeah, that's the worst. It's all about pipping into Pyramid Wardens. They live. That card's good. These two are less good. Wow. Alright, Alpha Romeo, I think I'm going to be killing your creatures. Got a whole bunch of underbrush boars in here. Ha! Psh. Tiny pansy creature. Psh. Not intimidated. Now, do you think he uses this one to kill, or do you think he has like an Athenian archer in hand? Whoa, his hand must be bad. You played 2 Vanguard Axewomen's on turn 1, didn't have a follow-up? That's not good. I'm not going to attack with him. I'm just going to heal him. I'm winning the board hard. God power again. Sure. Cyclops is cool and interesting. See if we can kill this guy. Oh boy, we're killing it. Let's see, we're going to save the Chiron, because he's probably got relics. Let's do a little favor action, think about pipping into a heal. Gain 6. Alright, so, pipping into a heal, actually kind of good. Because he has a lot of blitz creatures that deal 2 damage, but only 1 that deals 3, and 1 more that deals 5. So we're playing around some stuff here. Interesting. Very annoying for my confused creatures, that's for sure. Now, do you burn? Yes, you guys burn. So there's this card. I really want to just play the Mooncray Cyclops, though, right? Alright, that was a fine trade. Great job. What's better, Frontline or damage. We can decide next turn. There's no way he gets enough favor to buy anything. Great job, Underbrush Boar. You killed many a creature. Oh, that's not very good, huh? That is not very good for him. Let's kill that so easily. We're still going to hold on to the Chiron. Because you know he's got relics. Go face. You can do it. You can do it. We're not going to disconnect. You can do it. Great job, little spellcatcher. Big brain boar, huge brain boar. It says he's confused, but I think he's got a PhD. Whoa, that's actually not so bad. I'll just kill it with my not confused creature, no problem. And then we'll play a front line, protect my real creature, and then we can buff it for more damage. That's always fun. Now notice how he's at 7, and this creature has more than 7 attack. Kind of feel bad, but then again, Slayer, it's working out. He had a horrible turn too, and I played Craze Cyclops. Oh, the apple guy. Great. So, you make stupid stuff? So I guarantee I win because it's a 2-1. He gets 1 skeleton thing? Great. GG. Now let's just get the Finian Fruit Bear on the board for moral support. GG. Hey, you! Did you know that subscribing to the TST YouTube channel will increase your win rate by 6.9%? So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. And while you're at it, equip Scythe of the Harvest and attack the like button directly in the face. Bye-bye!